Hello and welcome to my channel. All right, well, in making leather sheaths and stuff like this, I have to cut leather naturally, and some of the things that come in handy are little snips, for detailed work and stuff. But when you're gonna go cut these long cuts, you can get an X-Acto knife. I had all that crap on the other table, but I just figured out how to set this tripod up for aiming down without snapping it. I had to look at everything, but there are all kinds of knobs, but each one has something different. All right, so normally what I do is mark it, and then I would get something like a Wharncliffe, and I would go on it, and cut back and forth. Well, the problem with the Wharncliffe, I mean, they're good, and it has an acute tip and everything, is you can poke through too far. All right, so if you go the rounded route, like a cotton sampler, well, then you've got, this right here, you're going back and forth, and that works fairly well. Same with, like the skinning blade of this. This is not a Turkish clip here, or is it? I don't remember. But you go back and forth, and you're just contacting that little point. Well, most people don't think that a Tanto would work very well. Man, this thing works perfect because of this point right here. I cut this in with this. See? I cut this in right here. Oh, this is where it was. And I used my Tanto. So let me demonstrate though. Alright, so it's still a little odd. What I'm doing is come back here. Etsy, where are you, Etsy?
Tanto.
All right, I got one of these things. I ordered it from eBay or Amazon. I think it was Amazon. And all it is you have these. You've already got the holes, in your sheath. So you just have this hardware. And it's just holes here. It's not even rivets or anything. And then these are just two snaps on a piece of thick leather, right? And it goes over. Man, this works so well. It works like a keeper, and it holds the sheath securely, and everything else holds it on your belt well. Well, they're fairly easy to make. All you need is leather and snaps, and I got a bunch of snaps. I think I've got enough hardware. Now, if I'd have thought about that while I was making this, I would have made, because look how wide this is. It's like the perfect size. It'll fit. I'd have made 4 holes that would line up. Now, I could take a drill, and just drill in 4 holes, and mount it anyway. But I think that's what I'm going to wind up doing, because this clip right here is okay, but it's not secure enough. This kind of like flops around. It's better if it kind of like hugs the body a little bit, but it's not for this blade either. Trying not to ramble on. It's for this guy. That's what this sheath was made for. Now I could have made it a little bit thinner, because the sheath that supplied the Secure X one is a taco pattern over here. It only has holes on one side. It don't have any holes on this side. So if you do a taco pattern, you can fold it. This is kind of a taco pattern, see? You can fold it, and then what I like about snaps is you don't have to take your belt on and off. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this is so convenient, having snaps. And this is one of the easy on, easy off, but secure while it's on. And it's one of the easiest ones to just thread through. You don't have to take your belt off. Like I said, you don't have to adjust anything. Because if you're putting it on the left side, usually you can't just, if you got loops or anything, you just can't go through like this because of the belt buckle. is in the way. So what are you going to do? You have to thread it all the way through. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Also, you can't just take it off easily. You have to take your belt all the way off to get it off. So, but with one of these, you don't do that. Or one of these too. If I'd have put, thinking out loud, I'd rather do the leather one, just because I like the way it loops around and holds everything. Kind of conceals it. I'm not worried about concealment, but I mean, it's more secure. It loops it all the way around instead of just on the back side. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, but let me show you. We'll cut. Yeah, it's not going to be super long. Let's see. The way that it is, they attach to one side and they go like this, fold it over, and it comes over and it snaps. You know, so the most we're going to need is about here, but let's cut up here just to, you know, show something. So we'll say we're up here. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. And we want to make it straight. So you can take the point, you know, if you want, and go down like if you had a ruler. Let's say, for example, you potentially had a ruler. And you go like this. All right, so you got your little mark there. So you just get it, and this is kind of like a pizza cutter. And it's pretty safe. You just go back and forth. Hear that? I don't know if you can hear that. You know, this is thick hide too. This is thick leather. All right, you feel a little bit less resistance when it comes to the very end. It sounds a little bit different too. Pizza cutter. See, now if you pull up and you go crazy, see what I did? But if I stay in there, you got to stay in your groove. You got to get in your groove and you just got to stay in it. But it makes a nice, sharp, clean cut. You know, you can screw anything up, no matter how good the tool is or whatever. But with this, see, I'm through. I'm through down there. Yeah, I'm through. But we'll keep going. Just as a demonstration purpose only. Pizza cutter. And the good thing is, it don't go through. Whereas you're cutting through thick stuff and everything, you might be bearing down pretty hard. I haven't tried it with these. Let's try it. You know, this is an educational experiment here, so we're doing this in the name of science. All right, so we're going to try this, you know, skinning type of guy. But yeah, I think that works very well. Very well. I found that was... Yeah, you don't hear it, you know. You hear a lot of people talking about it's not good bushcraft tool or whatever. What's this? This is leather. If you can work with leather easily, you know, I think that's good. What do they know anyway? What do they know? They know nothing. All right, we got this guy and we got this guy. I don't know how sharp this guy is. We'll try him. I haven't sharpened this. Like a factory edge on him. Little... Same principle. It's better if you keep this here, you know. Also, it protects your fingers and all that if you still had a ruler. I was just showing you what it was doing with the other one. I don't hear it making as much noise. There we go. That works pretty good too. Actually, a little bit better. All right. Got to try old Wharncliffe while we're at it. Name of science. Probably all comes just down to skill of the operator. This is what I would usually use. See, stabbed his leg. Oh, he's bleeding. He's bleeding out. No. Behave, calm down. This is serious. Is it? Is it really? I'm not going to be very serious about it then. See, I have a problem with this because I don't know where if I go like that, I gotta keep the tip in it and everything. I mean, it does it. You can do hackenberry too, you know, where you just keep, you turn it on its side and you just saw. Don't stab me. I'm not trying to. All right, so we see that's kind of, Let's try Mr. Cotton Sampler. Cotton Sampler's pretty good too because we've got that little rolly edge, you know. It's like a Spey blade. You don't have to worry about the top part messing anything up. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. This is going to do real good too. Alright, so I thought I discovered something amazing about the Tanto edge, but it looks like a lot of these other ones will do just as good too, if not better. But still, you can still do things with that. You don't go down as far. You don't have to bear down as much. But, I mean, this does pretty good. It just cuts right through it. It's no super steel, though. It's just 440A. 440A. All the way, 440A. Yeah, nice edges on it. So, yeah. So, that's the Cotton Sampler. This guy, it takes a little bit more skill with him. Pretty easy with this guy. And of course, Kyoto! Kyoto cuts pretty good too. So there you go. Yeah, I guess you may or may not have learned anything. Learned that I didn't cut myself this time. Didn't cut myself. But yeah, I'm going to make these because these, I think it was like $20 for just one of them. Yeah, it came with the hardware. Did it? I think so. I think it did. But it was just that and the snaps, you know. Black. But you can make it any color you want if you've got leather. That's what this thing started out as, this color. Put dye on it and stuff like that. And this is an original case one. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. But see, this, it's designed like Scout carry, so you can put a slip joint and everything in it. But there's no snaps here. And you got to watch for these. You got to make sure nothing super slick is in there because you can lose them. This is a pretty good friction fit here. Like that. It's in pretty good. Comes out all right. Protects it fairly well. Sits there on your belt. You can get that, but it, you know, it's not as easy one-hand opening as a fixed blade. Fixed blade. Ready to go. This is my 90-degree spine portion. And I haven't taken the coating off or anything like that. I've got another, I've got something else going on with that. This guy right now, I'm just carrying him in the Securex sheath. I got two of these clips on it. The original sheath. And the way I look at it is, yeah, if you pull it in and out a lot, it's going to dull the blade. But if I hone it or strop it or sharpen it, if I have to use it, I think it'll still be sharp enough to do the, you know, what it needs to do, even if there's only like a little tiny portion that's not super duper sharp or whatever. Naked blade. So yeah, I hope you learned something other than I just wasted some of your time there. You probably already knew everything I just said, but if you didn't, there you go. You learned something. And if you did, please tell me what it was because I didn't learn anything. I learned that I still have my fingers. Still got all my fingers, and I didn't poke myself. Gosh, gosh. Knock on my Carta. Knock on my Carta. Alright, yeah. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. You learned how to set up a tripod. Oh, hot mic! Hot mic! Ow! 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 Soigu! Get the move!